Hi, I'm Dr. Phil, your authority for health and wellness solutions, and welcome to the Live Long and Strong Journal. Today I want to talk about the true revolution, something that none of us can deny anymore. It started about 130 years ago, right around the time when electricity was invented. So when we look back, for millions of years, we've lived in a very natural environment, and the Earth's magnetic field was something that our bodies received. We'll get into that a little more in detail. But the change in the environment over the last 130 years has created a lot of changes in the fact that things like nutrients in our food have decreased about 15 times. Exercise, because of our lifestyle, has decreased by about 30 times. And of course, toxicity has increased by about 80 times in our environment currently. And the volume of our life, that busyness factor, that lack of time that we all seem to have, has increased by about 150 times. And of course, the speed of life has also increased by about a multitude of 200. And of course, time. None of us seem to have any time. Let's multiply that by about 500 times. And of course, the information. About 100 years ago, in a lifetime, people would read about the same information as what we would read in one newspaper in one day. Things have changed as far as about a million times more information that we're inundated with in today's times. And of course, one very important aspect is electrosmog. And electrosmog has increased by just a phenomenal amount of times. We can't even put a number to it anymore. It's just billions of times compared to 130 years ago. Now, it's also significant over the last 130 years is the fact that we've gone from epidemic type of illnesses where people were living healthy and then suddenly dying, real quick. Whereas in the last 130 years, what we've seen is a real noticeable trend towards chronic disease and illness, things like allergies, inflammation, all types of things that they're not killing us, but they're causing us to survive, not thrive. So what we're seeing now is a lot of diseases and illnesses where we live longer, however, we live sicker. And of course, one of the things that disturbs me the most right now is that by the end of 2008, the term cancer, I'm sure we're all aware of what cancer is now. Cancer is affecting 1 out of every 2 people on this planet. Even 2 years ago, it was 1 in every 4. So it's taken over from any other chronic disease or illness as the #1 disease process on this planet. There's got to be some reason to it, and I want to get into that a little bit more today. Now, what I want to make sure everybody understands is the problems. So we talked about electrosmog, and electrosmog is a very serious issue that, again, we don't see, feel it, or hear it. It's all the unnatural frequencies that are around us that our bodies don't pick up on. So things like satellite waves, things like radio waves, things like microwave waves, all those things, and the wavelengths of all the unnatural frequencies that are created around us with today's technology, cell phone technology, Bluetooth technology, and the megahertz, gigahertz range. If you think about the natural frequencies of the Earth's elemental force, the frequency is in that range of about 5 to 15 hertz, as far as all our biological frequencies that our body runs on. So if you think of all the unnatural frequencies around us, even our carrier frequency of electricity is in the range of 60 hertz, which is certainly outside of that biological frequency. And then it goes from the megahertz to the gigahertz, millions to billions of times. What we need to do to solve the problem is we need to redefine the illness paradigm. Now, what we've seen in North America has certainly brought us around that aspect of chemistry medicine. We're all pretty familiar with chemistry medicine, with drugs and medications. Chemistry medicine is something that it has its purpose. However, there's also mechanical medicine, another part of the paradigm, which is the hands-on, the touch, the feel, working with the physical therapies, chiropractic care, massage therapy, anything that is a person touching. And of course, that has its place as well. Now, as somebody who specializes in mechanical therapy, I've run into a lot of situations where we've had great success along with chemistry medicine or without. So they're both very important. But what we've noticed is we've run into a lot of plateaus. And the one missing element of this whole paradigm that really puts it all together is energy medicine. And this is something we have not focused on much in North America at all. And energy medicine is what is the basis to anything chemical or mechanical. We can't have a chemical reaction or a mechanical reaction without the underlying aspect of energy to begin with. We need the electrons, we need the photons, we need everything to exist. We need the frequencies to exist first. So why don't we look at redefining illness by getting to the underlying root of the cause? So we look at the aspect of electrosmog. The other key issue as far as a major problem that's existed in the last 130 years has been the advent of less and less movement. We tend not to move as much in today's society. As we're all aware, things are pretty convenient. As far as driving, we sit a lot. We don't move as much as we used to. 100 years ago, it was nothing for people to walk an average of 25 kilometers a day in North America. And that movement was very key. Whereas compared, we average about 800 meters in this day and age. And when you think about that simple thing of exercise with walking, what's necessary here, if you think of the elemental force of the Earth's magnetic field, it's a static frequency. Now, to create an impulse, to create that spark that gets that cell biology, that metabolism going, we need movement. So we need to be able to move around the Earth's magnetic field to create the impulse. So this is where the fact that we're inundated with electrosmog, I don't have a feeling that we're going to see things going backwards as far as technology in any time soon. So we need an antidote. And next week, what I'm going to get into is the solution, the antidote. So for today, I'm Dr. Phil, your expert for health and wellness solutions. Till next week, live long and strong. And be sure to check in on us either online or at the clinic at backtobasics.ca, where health, trust, and results happen. All the best.